Hello everybody, welcome back. We are going to do another video here on the tank. I think I'm going to do pretty much a whole video on the Cade system, try to give you guys an update. It's very long overdue on the whole system. Tank's been up for about a year now, actually a little bit over than a year. You guys can see how everything's looking here. As far as pretty much an update goes, you can see some of the fish have gotten a little bit bigger. There's been some new additions to the tank. That gem tank was just recently added in, and there is a threadfin butterfly, threadfin butterfly fish that's available in here now. Actually, there it goes. He's been in here. He's the newest one. It's going on about a month now. I got him towards the end of January. I was still able to make some decisions here, and there was a reason that I got him. But yeah, more or less, here's what's going on with the tank. On this side, let's see if I can change this angle here so you guys can see. There's a lot of growth, and there's some things that are getting getting close to each other right now. The wrasse, no, not the wrasse, but the antherosaur want to hang out here. As far as the corals, you guys can see compared to before, the Euphilia bommy over here is just grown in. Like I said, more pruning pretty much needs to happen throughout this whole tank. So between the SPS and some of these Euphilias and frog spawns and things like that, some things may need to get pruned back or cut down drastically. Let's see what else we have going on. Got a couple of new corals here. This chalice in the back. One guy's pretty new with that. I did clean the bottom. I actually scraped the bottom glass last night, and ended up seeing more algae. So I was like, all right, well, let me go ahead and scrape it down and see how everything looks from there. And yeah, it now is really bright. But so we might just let the algae grow. On this side, as far as pruning, recently I did some right here on this red robin, or whatever it's called, because there's already further up and underneath another coral, so I decided to prune that back a little bit. And what else we got going on? The other side's pretty much got some things going on right now. Do have Aptasia that is on everything once I get all these guys out of the way. Yeah, so there's a bunch of Aptasia around the whole tank. And one thing that I've always mentioned folks before with Ghanies, and I say I have bad luck with them, because here goes the one that has survived through everything, and here goes one that I've added in some time ago, and I had it over to the left where the other one was at. It started to recede quicker, moved it under the rock, and this is pretty much where it's at. So it's just pretty stagnant. So not sure exactly what's going on, but I'm trying a couple things. I was told add more phyto to the tank, so we're trying that out, see if that helps out. Foxface wanted to follow around. There's a couple more of the corals. But I do like the bare bottom look. It's mainly bare bottom all the way from the front, all the way towards the back. And back here I have, I guess I would call ornamental sand. So it's not a whole lot of sand that's at the bottom here, mainly for the wrasse, because he likes to sleep in the sand. So I'll give him something to dig into and things like that. This particular coral, I did have to move it. Actually, it popped off of where it was at, which was right there where that frag plug is at. These fish that are falling around, and it popped off one day, and so I just decided to move it back over to the side. Again, mostly everything is coral covered with a lot of the Aptasia. I do have some nudibranchs in here. They have been doing some work on trying to clean up things, but because I have a really large bristleworm in the, or not bristleworm, but brittle starfish in the tank, I think he's been scooping up some of them. So that was the reason I did also add in a butterfly. And since I took a while to pick the one I wanted as far as a butterfly, and I settled with that one because it's really more or less an omnivore in a sense, but he has cleared out a lot of the adaptation. As you saw, they kind of picked out a couple things that are hanging around. Crossing my fingers on him because I know they have a knack of nipping on coral supposedly, so we'll keep an eye on him. But what I will say is there's some bare spots now where you can see he's checking it out, but that whole flat portion of the rock was actually all cleared out by him recently, so I'm actually pretty happy about that. The alternative was to add in shrimps, the peppermint shrimp, but that would have just been a meal for the wrasse, because prior to that I did have peppermint shrimps in the tank before the wrasse, and then the wrasse found the shrimp and killed off all the shrimp. So yeah, that's been fun. So no shrimps can go in here unless I put them in a nice system, probably a large quantity of them, and then that should maybe reduce everything. But other than that, the SPS are hanging in there. Some have receded back, some have gone through a couple of different changes. We got some that are growing. So all in all, what I would say is a mixed bag of things going on here. Yeah, for the most part, just letting the tank do its thing, trying to intervene when I can, and trying to keep everything stable. So I'm swimming around a couple more corals here now. As far as everything else, as far as what else has changed on this tank, I've added this ice cap 3K. It's just one I've had for a while. I just moved it over to the other side, mainly to get more flow in the tank. The MP40s were doing well, but there was always like a dead spot. Let me stop this reflection. There was always like a dead spot right in the top surface, and with adding the flow in now, got more movement on the corals. And we got a nice zoomed out shot of this nymph. So yeah, that's part of the benefits of having that extra flow in here, is that I'm able to push some stuff farther throughout the whole water column and move things around. So I love this thing, but right now I can't even cut it because it's not even based out onto the rock properly. So it just precariously sits there. And every so often, if I'm using the magnet cleaner, I'll go ahead and end up breaking off a piece. As you can see right up in here, I broke off a piece recently. Send that off. So yeah, so let me see if I can get back up here to the top where I was trying to show you guys. So I added on, as far as lighting, I still have the Radions, the G5s, but I did add it on two of the Orifec UV or 3 bulb strips. So added these on. They pretty much cover most of the day probably about a few hours during the day. I don't remember exactly what schedule I set for them. But that's pretty much it for the light, the tank. And let me see if I can get down into the sump here and show you guys what's going on here. Oh, so with the Cade, some of you guys who have them, you guys know there's the glass panel that's here, and then this is where your control box is at. And so I have a little Apex module that I'm just monitoring on everything on here, and we got the MP40s and the return pump and all the controls. So the original plan was to scrape off all of the black and tint the glass. That didn't work on too well. Ended up cracking the glass at some point and just did acrylic. So what that does now is I'm able to see all of the switches and the controls and everything that's running at a glance without having to open the door, which is good because when I have this setting here, you guys can see where the pH and everything is on the tank. But yeah, so now I can peek in and see what's going on without having to open the door. And with that being said, let's go over to the sump. And the sump has gone through a few changes, but it looks the same as it was when I think I last did a video for you guys. So you guys remember seeing the skimmer still rocking, and there was the the Clarice, the Gen 3. What I ended up adding on was a fan in the cabinet to cut down on the humidity that was happening inside of the cabinet at the time. I did at one point use this whole section over here. This was the ATO section for this tank. Right now it's just stuff in here. It's all reefing gear. But what I did use this section for a couple months was calc. I had the whole chamber filled with calc and did a whole ATO top off situation. Well, not ATO, but a dosing situation where I would dump the calc in at a certain time to make up for the ATO thing. Bottom line, it didn't work. It did not work, and I did not get the results that I was looking for. When I'm able to talk about it better, I will let you guys know, but it didn't work out. Then I did move everything back, and I tried the Shado back in here again. I put Shado in here, put a refusion line and everything, and same problem I had before. Little bits of Shado got stuck into the pump, regardless of where I put the pump or anything like that. And I said, no, I'm not going to go through that again. So pulled the Shado out, and then put the Clarice back in, and this is what I'm running right now. This is pretty much where it's going to be, is the Clarice. That's still a fresh roll. I think I'm going on 2.5 weeks now with this particular roll, so that's good. We'll take it for whatever it is for you guys that like to ask that same number, like what the how long it takes and things like that. That's fine. But all in all, this tank, I know it looks real simple in the sump, but the tank's still in good. The only thing I am working on is the alkalinity right now. With everything that was going on, I wasn't checking any of the figures for a while, and my alkalinity dropped down to 5 point something, and everybody would say, "Oh my God, why would it be that low?" Actually, you know what? Let me see. I think I can pull it up here. Actually, I can pull it up here. Fancy with this. I have no in-screen alkalinity. Right now it's at, get this on focus. Yeah, alkalinity is at 7.4. It was 6.5 recently. So trying to bring that back up so I can get the growth back up. Same thing happened with the frag tank. I checked both of them. The frag tank was actually worse. The frag tank was 5.4 or 5.6. So alkalinity's dropped. Salinity, everything is good on that. Nitrates, phosphates are a little out of whack. I want to bring my phosphates down, but I have the auto feeder going, so that's just adding more to it. But I figure now with the Claricy, get everything back in balance, hopefully. But you know what, this reef, the hobby, just keeps you on your toes. So more or less trying to keep things on balance. And once these fish move out of the way, you can see more giant Aptasia. So this is what I've been battling with. This whole rock was covered. That finally, some of the nudies came in, ate up some more, and started migrating over to the other side. And they've been sporadically doing things. So keep an eye on it. Like I said, I had to add the fish on there just to kind of help out with whatever is going on with everything in the tank. But hopefully I can do some more of these videos and get better with everything. Right now I love this piece. It's a little receded in the back, but for the most part, yeah, it's still nice big LPS. Hopefully these what are these, the lobos here, hopefully these lobos start growing and splitting. I know this one, I've had it for a while, and it's starting to do the splits and everything around and getting the new lobes on it. This one's starting to fold, and I've had this most recent one that I've had, so hopefully it'll also match up and start getting growing. But again, that's going to come in part with the alkalinity and getting things dialed in here. I'll show you guys some more of this guy just looking around. He's pretty small, so my guess on this would be hopefully he grows in the tank and knows that, hey, I can't go munching off all of these things that are here. But like I say, he spends most of his days picking off little things off of the rocks. Some of the Aptasias. I did feed him Aptasias at first just to kind of make sure that he does eat that and nothing else really. At least kind of get a taste for it up front. But he's been doing well, and everyone kind of welcomed in, other than the powder blue, which just loves to chase everything and everybody. So I'm going to do a quick top down and end this video out, but I do appreciate everybody watching and checking it out. And like I said, I wish I did a better 1 year update video for you guys on the tank, but it is what it is. And I would definitely try to get some more footage out for you guys. Peace.